Thank you, Aaron O'Neill Hayes. In studio with us is Kathy Helbig from the Kathy Helbig Group and the KathyHelbigGroup.com. Good morning, Kathy Helbig.
Good morning.
Last week you were here. You're a real estate guru, and last week you were talking about self-sabotage for sellers, which is a great phrase. Part 2 of that is self-sabotage for buyers.
Yes.
Now, we self-sabotage in our personal life, and we also do it in our real estate life.
Correct.
All right, what do buyers do to kill the deal?
The biggest problem buyers do is, number one, they don't know how to write a contract. So you need to write an acceptance-worthy contract. Don't load it up with things that you know are going to be countered by the seller. So it gives time for somebody else to come in and sneak an offer in and steal that house right out from underneath you while you're going back and forth on the little nitty-gritty stuff.
How about when I've heard this, that sometimes buyers just offend the sellers when they ask for things or do things.
Yes.
Does that happen?
All the time.
Really?
Yes. And that's why it is good to have a realtor to kind of be the mediator in between that, because emotions do get involved and people make silly decisions over emotions.
Yeah.
So.
When I was selling my house, they asked for my dining room table. Yeah. And I was like, no, it's my dining room table.
Well, that's another thing on my list is don't load up your offers with full of personal property. You could always negotiate that after the sale, but a lot of people want to write it in. And number one, it messes with appraisal values anyway, and they're going to make us come back and take it off the contract. But number two, the seller is looking at that as monetary value. So that's affecting his decision-making on where they're going to come back at their price.
So you can say you can ask, but do it later on,
yes.
Right? Because, I mean, if you don't ask, you won't get it. But,
exactly.
But you don't want to kill the deal.
Exactly. You don't want to be negotiating personal property when you need to be negotiating the house first.
That's a very good point. All right, what else?
Make your best offer first. You know, like you were saying, a lot of people want to come in and feel out the market. And a couple years ago, it was a great buyer's market, and you could come in with low offers and sellers expected it. Now, sellers will just kind of look at it and go, reject that.
Right.
Because, again, that emotion comes in, and they know they just had 2 or 3 other people in their door. They're not going to take a low ball offer first time off the bat. So make a good offer, especially if you know there's other interest. When you know there's other people that are making offers, it amazes me when we tell people, we come back and say, make it your best and final, and they still play little games, and then they're upset because they've lost the 3 houses in a row that they've put offers on, but they're not taking our advice on how to sculpt the best offer to be accepted. Also,
when you negotiate and you tell someone, this is my final and best offer, and it's rejected, right? You have to walk away. You can't say, "Oh, wait a minute. I think I found money in my cushions."
Right.
No. It's you need to walk away, and if you walk away, they then might come back.
Sometimes
and say,
they do. Sometimes they don't. We'd be surprised where we think we're going to put a deal together and go, "Oh, they love that house. We know they're going to come back," and they don't.
Right. Yeah.
So that comes to another big one of mine. Don't lose your first choice house over a few $1,000s. You want to go live in your second choice house for the next 7 to 15 years,
and when you
over
think about
2 lunches a month, because $5,000 to a seller is $5,000 to a seller. $5,000 to a buyer is about $25 in house payment.
Because you think it's over 30 years,
exactly.
Right? That's how you have to think of it. You can't think of it as one lump sum because it's not for the buyer.
That is so true. When I was selling my house, we were $6,000 apart. I'm like, $6,000 is a lot of money.
Yes.
But to him, it's nothing. It's nothing. Yeah, that's a really good point. All right, what else? Anything else?
And then just come to the table prepared with your finances. So a lot of times people will write in, we'll give you a financial statement in the next 48 hours. Well, when there's multiple offers coming in, you're going to look at the one that you think has the best chance of closing. And if you don't have the finance part in front of you, they might move on to another offer. I
will also say this, that having a qualified real estate agent is probably worth its weight in gold.
100%.
Right.
Yes.
Because you're the expert, and so the buyer or the seller leans on you. What do you think? What do you know?
Right. You don't know how to craft contracts and what's going to be accepted or not. So, a realtor to help you put your best offer in is absolutely necessary in today's market.
Kathy Helbig, if we were to hire your group, how would we go about finding you?
KathyHelbigGroup.com and What the Helbig on Facebook. And we've got some really exciting news. We have the new Kathy Helbig Group app, which has all the up-to-date information of housing in St. Louis. It's more up-to-date than Trulia and Zillow, so get off of those. We've got streaming video coming in for information that you'll find pertinent to the market, and it's really easy to search with.
Back up a second. You're telling me that your app, Kathy Helbig Group app, is better than Zillow and the rest of them.
It has more up-to-date information, so it's updated about every 15 minutes. It's tied into the local MLS here.
Aha.
So that's what realtors use to search with. So
Sure.
There's not that third-party delay of going to the syndicators. It goes right into our app.
Good to know. How do we find your app?
Apple Store, go to the App Store, Kathy Helbig, GRP, or Google Play.
Google Play. Can't miss it. 314-276-SOLD. St. Louis County, St. Charles County, 17 years in the business. You have a full team of people, co-owner of Keller Williams Realty West, and we've stealing you from time to time from Channel 5. If people recognize you, you're the real estate expert on KSDK Channel 5. Their Show Me St. Louis show. Kathy Helbig, thanks for coming in.
Thank you. Heading there next.
Good stuff as always. Oh, so we scooped Channel 5?
You did.
Nice.
Wow.
Excellent. Quick check.